Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This episode, Meek Mark likes healing, goes large on base building, and thinks silence is golden. Wolfer Wade squads up like a soldier, hates the most diminutive of discourses, and presses the flesh like a pro. Beavering Bob shills for the Bearcat and can't connect with his chosen. From straight skullduggery to hating extroverts. Yes, it's time for the Dumb of Introverts. Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Distractible. I'm the hostest of the mostest with no toast, because I don't have any toast, but we're back. And I won the last episode, which Bob hosted, which was a great episode.
He's out. Handshake deal. Please. This has never happened before.
Okay, Mark, what's up? What are you thinking?
I don't know. How do these work? I've never done these before.
Do you have anything in particular you want? Do you want to 3 points? You want to win? You want to...
Is it like a genie thing? Do I wish? Is this like a monkey's paw?
I don't know. Technically, we're not allowed to do handshake deals according to the contract, and Mark's a real stickler about that, so we can't tell him if we do it.
I win. I win.
Done.
Huh? Hi.
Basically, we're just going over how the podcast works. There's one host, 2 competitors, and you guys will compete. Someone will win at the end. I'm the host because you were hosting the last episode. I was saying you hosted a great episode. It was a lot of fun where we talked about successes. I've got a topic. We'll get into that later. For now, how are you, Mark and Bob, the competitors?
I'm good. I may have left my delicious malt root beer zero sugar in the bathroom, and that's where I had to go just now.
Oh.
Because it's fine.
I often keep my drinks in the bathroom too.
Well, it's nice and crisp cold from the fridge, but I grabbed it and I was like, I should hit the bathroom before we do this. And then I left a root beer, which I wanted to drink the root beer.
I was doing that whole intro bit and I was just looking like wanting to take a sip and having to wait. So I was really excited whenever you decided to speak or Mark decided to speak so I could take a sip.
I have small talk that is not my small talk. I just find it fascinating. Have you guys heard about how Intel has been having trouble?
Generally, yes.
Processors blowing up and whatnot.
I had not, but go on.
So basically, long story short, there's in the current and last generation of Intel CPUs, there's been a lot of reports about instability, and it all ties into there's a flaw in their microcode, which is the code that's in the chip itself that tells the chip how to operate. So there's a flaw in the microcode that raises voltage past safe levels. I don't know if it's the chip itself or a motherboard's integration. Either way, it damages the CPU and eventually it will fail. So there's been a big stink about this for good reason. Like, you don't want CPUs failing. But what I thought, the way it seemed like, the way it was being touted by a bunch of different like YouTubers out there, like a lot of it was pioneered by this channel called Gamers Nexus, and the guy there, he's been really leaning into Intel. But then I thought it was like 50% rate. I was like, holy shit, this is terrible. But then there's this computer manufacturing company. It's not the one I work with. It's called Puget Systems. They're pretty well rated, I think. They're I don't know. They do a lot of very thorough testing. I know other YouTubers that have computers from them. I do not. I don't know if I've ever reached out. Maybe I could. Hey, you want to give me a computer? I'll just take them. With their testing, because they sell these computers, they had this graph that was like talking about how this fails versus other CPUs. And what they were saying is that yes, there's an elevated failure rate, but I'm gonna show you.
Look at this graph.
As you can see on the right of this graph is the Intel last and current generation. These are their failure rates. Red means in the field after the computer's been sold. Blue means in the shop they detected a failure when they were building the computer. As you could see, they're tiny. Everyone was blowing this up, seeming like 50% of all these CPUs were just exploding. And even compared to Intel, like had their 11th generation was apparently ass. It failed. 7% of them failed.
What is shop versus field failure?
So shop is when they're building the computer, it fails as they're testing. So red means the computer has been shipped to the customer, it fails with the customer. And as you can see, this is AMD's current generation chips, and this is AMD's last generation chips. They're both higher than the current Intel chips.
Is this one of those, is this a thing of like the Intel, both of those for Intel are just somewhere between 2 and 3% in total, it looks like. Is this a thing where Intel's market share is so big that the actual occurrence of failures of Intel looks way bigger because like theoretically there's like a million Intel chips in circulation, but there's only 250,000 AMD chips? Is it something like that?
I think that's exactly what it is. There are more people that own. The percentage rate of failure is lower, but more people own the CPU, therefore it's higher. And yes, there is a flaw in the microcode that hopefully will be fixed, like next coming around. And then Intel's like extended the warranty for their chips for like 2 years, so you get like 5 years warranty. Although some people have had trouble with RMA and whatnot. I'm not trying to defend Intel's product. They need to like accommodate for a better product. That's very important to consumers. But this just blew my mind, and it made me realize this is how easy it is to get swept up in sensationalism, because if the data, like this whole time there hasn't been like actual concrete data of how much this has been failing, and it's not even that much. There are specific cases apparently where it does, where if you're using like a lot of these people who run Minecraft servers with the newest Intel chips, they burn them out because it's a very single thread, single core use case. And so when it clocks up that high voltage on one core, it breaks that one core much faster, and then you have a whole core dead, and then the chip kind of dies. So they have to replace a lot more. I think that's where the higher failure rate came from, and a lot more frustrations came from. But apparently it's not that bad. So I just like, I'm thrown off, because I was like, I even made a joke in one of my most recent videos where I was like, there was a computer crash in game. I was like, this ain't even an Intel. And then I went like, oh shit, I'm part of the problem.
So if you're part of the problem, and the problem is sensationalism, are you saying you're sensational?
Maybe I am. Maybe we all are.
5D chess. Bob, your turn to compliment me.
Wait, you know what it's almost time for?
Mark the leave for a minute so we can have a handshake deal?
No, football. Football's coming, buddy. Bo Duro and the Cincinnati Bengals.
It sure is. Did you hear that we lost a defensive end already? The torn Achilles, Cam Sample.
Yeah, we didn't need him.
Cam Sample? Oh, he's not impactful. That'll be fine.
Well, he won't be this year.
Who needs DNs? Who wants to contain a quarterback anyway? Who wants to push that run back inside? That's not important. That's not the league we're in. As long as we've got Joe Burrow and half a receiver, we'll be fine.
Let's hope. Yeah, I'm excited. Despite that sad recent news, I am excited because of football. I do love football.
The sports thing was a joke, but I have sports small talk. I am an idiot. I am a shill and a sellout. I caved and bought College Football 25. I bought the game.
I did too.
I was going to really try not to, but then they did like a play it for 12 hours demo type thing, and I played it, and I made the mistake of getting invested. I got the Cincinnati Bearcats all the way to the national championship, and we lost to Ohio State, which is literally the worst case scenario that could have happened, but we're rebuilding now. But no, I've been playing College Football 25, and I like EA. It's commonly called like Be a Pro, the thing where you like make a player and you play as that player and you like have a career. I like that. I play that a lot in the EA's NHL games. I like that very much. I made a running back just as an experiment. I made him not one of like the top skills. I think it was like an underdog. Basically, I was a walk-on running back. So I was bad. I started as like a 60 overall player and I couldn't get into anywhere. I walked on at Army and barely made the team as fourth string halfback, and I don't get to do shit. I think I'm in my junior year on this character playthrough, and I'm just HB2, so I'm second string still. So I get in like maybe a few plays every once in a while, like a few plays at drive, but mostly it's plays where I'm not doing anything important. Is it weird that I find it really satisfying to be that guy in a completely virtual world? I'm not the star of the team. I think in my entire career, I have 2 touchdowns. One of them was a complete fluke, like fumbled ball situation. And the other one, I just got lucky and I was like, I got a pass out of nowhere. I was the last resort and I got a touchdown out of it. But it's really fun because I'm like, I don't give a shit. I walked on at Army. I don't care about Army. I don't follow their actual real life team or anything. But I'm like, man, the Black Knights. I live and breathe Black Knights. I got to make sure I keep my GPA up. Usually when I do this, it's like I want to play for my favorite hockey team. I have a player on the Sharks in the hockey. I have a player on the Red Wings because I like the teams and I like the stadium. But I'm like, I'm really invested. And I am not an important part of the team. If I disappeared, they would just find some other 67 overall junior to come and do what I'm doing because it does not matter. It's really fucking, am I crazy? It's really fun.
I love playing support roles in games. I was a healer all in World of Warcraft, but my favorite niche of this, anytime there's a war game, like a Battlefield or like some of the more in-depth ones like the Foxhole one, I love being the ammo and build the fortification guy.
Yeah. Dude, you should play Hell Let Loose.
Can you do that in that?
It's got a lot of complicated support stuff. It's so good. Oh, I
love that part of it. Like, I don't want to get the high score. I don't even want to shoot. Like, if someone's coming attacking my buildings, I'm going to shoot the hell out of them because I spent so much time building.
No, you have some terrible little sidearm gun, though, right? Like, you don't want to have you have some piece of shit gun where you're like, go away.
Yeah, but I love it. I don't know why, but I just get so much satisfaction. I don't even want to see another player. I just want to if they use my stuff, I'm like, don't break it. I built that. They're gonna target you and they're gonna blow it up. But I don't know about that.
Oh, dude, me too. No, have you ever played Squad?
Oh man, yeah, that's a throwback.
Very intense, very realistic, like modern military sim type thing. There is command structure, and there is like building. You have to build the places where your team like spawns in, right? You have to build. They're called FOBs, forward operating bases. I was the guy who just fucking drove Logi trucks back and forth, built the FOB. I played hours of that game where I never fired my gun a single time at nothing. I was in big, 20-ton trucks, just all in equipment, and then building a thing and built the sandbags around the thing. I fucking love that.
Yeah, that's great.
We should check out Void Crew, because Void Crew is one where you have roles. You have your explorer, you have your engineer who goes around repairing the ship, you have your pilot, you have like your gunner.
I'll play it.
Yeah.
Squad also had medics, didn't they?
Yeah, Squad has medics. The medic stuff is not super complicated, but you're really in the shit as a medic in Squad because you basically have to follow around the guys who are.
You run to the front lines where everyone is dead, and you're like, bullets are raising around. You're like, get up, oh god, get up.
I like the way in Battlefield you did it, where you just like got your paddles out and you're just, but then if you come across an enemy, you can go and kill them that way. It's really fun, really fun, very realistic. I love it.
Just like in real wars.
The medic has the highest kill count with his paddles.
Throwing med packs everywhere and willy-nilly, just like
you're healed.
Same with ammo in that. That game's a silly way to. I like more realistic. The more realistic, it's better.
The more of a pain in the ass it is, yes.
Squad, I don't know how popular it is now. Squad was pretty. You lived and died based on how command operated and how people followed those commands. If everyone worked together and coordinated, you had a good chance of winning. But what would usually happen is you would always have like that one squad you were counting on that were like, nah, we're gonna go fucking take this base because we know what's best. And it's like, you were supposed to pincer, now we're pincered, you fox, we're dead.
No, Hell Let Loose is like that too, but it's World War II. But there's command structure and there's a lot of like resource management and command discussing in it. A lot of your success hinges on if you have a captain in your squad who knows what the hell is happening, and if the higher command guys like have any semblance of order whatsoever. It's very chaotic and fun.
Oh man, I haven't played a game just for fun in a long time. I should do that.
Anyway, I'm second string halfback for the Army Black Knights.
Oh, you're not even the starter, you're second string.
I'm second string. I'm not even I started my junior year as fourth string, and I challenged the third string guy and I challenged the second string guy. I can't even challenge the starter. I'm not nearly as good as he is. Man, am I living my best life out there though. I have a great GPA. My education advisor is very happy with me. I have a deal with a local spaghetti shop.
So the way it works, Mark, is you have energy points to spend each week, and you can put your energy toward like getting more talented, toward being healthy, toward working on your GPA, and I feel like there's one or two other things.
I maintain a 3.8 GPA, spend a lot of energy on that.
If you don't keep at least a 2.0 GPA, then you're ineligible to play, you're not allowed to play, so you have to like play school a little bit. But also, if you put all of your points toward school and talent, then you are like your injury risk can be like 100%. And the more your injury risk is high, your stats get lower. So you might have like a minus 20 to speed or something crazy where you're just like slow motion moving with the ball and just get hit once and you're out. It's a weird balance for that mode.
I've never played a single one of those sports games. Maybe I played it once in a while.
Road to Glory, is it called Road to Glory, or is that Madden's?
Road to Glory, yeah, that's the mode.
I've never found like appeal in it. Maybe I would. Maybe I have no idea.
I like the make a career ones. I have another goal. I have my next player in mind already, because that's the other thing with the college one is you graduate at some point, right? You run out of eligibility. When you do it in pros, some of the games have like, oh, you're old and you get injured more, and eventually you're like, I'll start a new character. This guy's too old. You could kind of just do it forever. Like you could be a 50-year-old hockey player if you just wanted to do that in the NHL, because they don't really have, it's not that bad. But there's an end. And so my next player I want to be me. I want to be 6'4" and like just fucking huge. I want to try and be a quarterback somewhere.
Oh, okay.
I want to be that guy who played for the University of Kentucky in my childhood, who was like the biggest quarterback ever. He was like 6'4", 250 quarterback. He played in one of the longest overtime games of all time, and there were like guys hanging off of him, and he was so big they couldn't tackle him, and I want to be that guy.
So I've not gotten to play a lot because we were traveling, but I'm watching a series of a guy who's doing a quarterback road to glory, and he went to Kennesaw State, which I hear is a funny, popular one people are picking in the content creator sphere because they're like a 68 overall, which is really bad. And his play options every time are halfback run, maybe gain 2 yards, usually lose 3 yards. Halfback run, maybe gain 2 yards, maybe lose 3 yards, and then it's 4 verticals. Every single time he comes in, it's running play, 4 verts, instant sack. And it's just every time. Because the offensive line is so bad that just instantly you're under pressure and there's no anything. So it's just halfback dive, 4 verts every time without fail. It's really funny.
Anyway, the Army runs a triple option in this game. Holy fuck, is triple option a terrible thing to do in video games? Half the plays end with the quarterback getting tackled as he takes the ball out of the running back's arms and can't even pitch it off to the option guy because he doesn't have half a second to do anything else with his life.
Georgia Tech was famous for the triple option for years and years. Anyway, I'm getting off track.
I don't even know what a triple option is.
It's like when the quarterback gets the ball and there's a guy who's running up the middle, and you could hand it to him, or the quarterback could keep it. That's one option. And then the quarterback runs with it, but then there's another guy who trails the quarterback. The quarterback could toss it to that guy, or he could keep it and take all the glory for himself. There's reads that you're supposed to do on the defensive players. It's complicated. It's a cool scheme. If you're in the right position, it's a very fun thing to watch and to play, because there's a lot of like hand the ball, whoop, toss the ball, nope, oh, he's doing it. It's very like deceptive. But if you're not fast enough, it's just slow as fuck, and you just get absolutely creamed in the backfield every single play. Turns out Army's not fast enough.
When they get a base building in a football game, I'll play that. So I got to build fortifications.
You build the stadium while you're playing. You have to lay down the field.
You want to play Stadium Builder Sim 25.
The quarterback drops deep. He's looking downfield. There is no downfield.
A light fell off the scaffolding above. That guy's going to get fired. Mark is in the other room like, oh no. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have shortcutted that light installation.
Intel, not so bad, and College Football 25, not sponsored, but if you want a copy, go buy it.
Use your money, buy it.
Last episode, like I said, Bob had us talking about successes, and I kind of want to go in the opposite direction. I've had this idea for a while. It's one that we've kind of talked about before. This is a part 2 or 3, so to speak. My working title was The Dumb of Humanity. Instead of our personal successes...
Wait, pause.
Are you saying that this new episode that you're about to host, you want to call The Dumb of Humanity?
Do we actually have one called that?
Not only do we actually have one called that, I'm fairly certain that was one of the last 2 episodes you hosted.
Is it really?
Yes.
It's already out. It's called The Dumb of Humanity.
Guys, I'm having my moment. I'm having my senior moment.
On July 8th.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, less than a month, long time ago.
Well, guess what? I have a list of topic ideas that I delete whenever I do one. That one didn't get deleted. You know what? It's been a month. I think a lot of things have changed in the world.
Let's go back to that pool.
Do you need a minute?
No, I'm fine. I know what I'm doing. Speaking of dumb, that was just a funny joke I was telling. You know what's dumb is that people are so different. We have our introverts, we have our extroverts. Would you both consider yourselves introverted?
Yes.
I definitely am.
Cool. Then I will talk to you and we will discuss our perspectives on things in the world from introverted and extroverted. Because, we talk about successes, failures. That's such a dumb thing. Okay, fuck it, man. Guys, I fucked up. All right. I fucked up, but here we are.
I was paying attention. I didn't know where you're going, but I was following.
Introverts and extroverts was another topic idea I had.
How about sports, huh? How about food, wings, beer, sports?
Introverts and extroverts approach those in different ways probably too. And so the reason this topic even made the list at one point, Molly and I were doing something a few months ago, I can't remember what, and she was just like, God, I fucking hate small talk. Like, I really hate whenever you're just like making small talk with someone, you're talking about nothing. It's the same conversation about the weather, about this, about that. And I was like, yeah, there are definitely times where that's like awkward or uncomfortable or just kind of like, yeah, okay, I got nothing else, leave now. But like for the most part, me as an extrovert, I'm like, dude, attention. Yeah, I can talk about, dude, the weather. Let's talk about the weather. Like, how is the weather? It's been kind of crazy. Like, I'll actually engage and enjoy that. For her, it's kind of like a rehashed subject of just like, it's really just a waste of talking about nothing. If I'm going to speak to someone, I want to actually have a conversation about something. And that got me thinking about this, which is why it made the list. So here we are. Introverts versus extroverts is definitely the topic. I was just saying if you guys were paying attention I fucked up.
Oh, okay. Is it really attention though? You've said this before, so I know this about you, but you like it because even if the conversation is just completely empty, like literally meaningless, just the platitudes of like, oh, I'm good. How have you? Oh, I'm good. And then the weather.
Sometimes.
Even if you're outside in the weather, do you both know what the weather is because you're seeing it firsthand? Do you still?
Yeah, but like, man, do you remember like a few years ago in July was almost like a full drought in Cincinnati? Now we've actually had some rain. Like we had a crazy storm the other day. Like, man, like sure, the weather right now is kind of expected, but like
I don't even want to make this small talk, and this is my job.
We were in Minnesota and we had like a really cool lightning storm one night. It's like I could talk about different things with the weather. I don't know. If someone's engaged in conversation and seemingly enjoying talking to me, it's like I'm succeeding. Yes, feed me.
It doesn't matter if it's good conversation. If it exists, it is successful.
I've been on the other end. I went to a wedding a few years back with some of Molly's friends. The reception afterward, we were sitting at a table. I think I told you guys the story. It was me, Molly, and like 3 or 4 other very introverted people. And it was like 3 or 4 hours of us sitting at this table and them like either wanting to look at their phones or just being quiet. And I was losing my fucking mind. It was one of those things where I kept talking and bringing stuff up and I knew it was not going well. They were just like giving short answers like, oh yeah, and then trying their best to get out of it. And I was like, I can salvage this. Let me try another topic. And I just kept going and I knew it was the wrong move, but I was in too deep at that point. So I kept trying to force conversation. They kept trying to get out of it.
What do you mean you were in too deep?
You could stop talking anytime you want.
They needed to like me.
You were being invited to stop talking. It could not have been easier.
I can't do it, man. I had to they needed to want to talk to me. I had to get them there and I didn't.
You know how they would have liked you more?
Quiet.
Quiet, yeah.
I knew it at the time, but I was like, no, I can salvage something about it. I couldn't stop.
I can fix them.
I was like, I've already done damage. This is going to damage it more unless it doesn't. And it did. And then even at the end of the night, I said bye. I was like, we waved at the party. I was like, see you guys later. And they were like the little side, like, I hope not. So I've seen that end of it, but God, I needed them to talk and want to talk to me. And they didn't.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
I guess I'm curious about this. I get that for you, the conversation is like, it's engaging to you and it's rewarding for your own reasons. And that's totally like valid and fine. When you're in that position and you're trying to make conversation to you, does it register for you what the other people's experience is? Because I guess I'm coming at this for me as an introverted person, the part of the reason I generally loathe small talk is not that I don't like people, like if it's friends or like with you guys or, whatever, there's lots of people I like talking to, but small talk is really hard to make interesting. I find it really difficult to have a conversation about the weather that I think is sincerely interesting. And when there's a conversation going on, I feel it a very strong onus on me to be like, contribute something interesting and valuable to this. And I just don't have fun shit to say about the weather outside. But if we're having a conversation about something I know anything about, or even if I just have questions, like Mark with your lenses as an example, I don't really know anything about lenses, but you know enough where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Well, why? What's the difference between this and this? Because you said you wanted I can ask an interesting question. I can make the conversation fun for you, the other people in it. But if I feel like I'm making bad conversation, I feel like I'm torturing everybody. Do you feel that way? Like,
only with introverts, man.
Well, but like I guess I'm saying, are you more concerned about the fact that you feel like you need to engage with people because that's how people should behave? Or are you worried about the quality of the conversation? Like it needs to be good. You don't want to just talk people's ear off about nothing because you make good conversation. It's not like you're not capable of that.
No, I'm very charismatic, very naturally, typically, but there are definitely times where like you hit it. Like I said, this was 4 hours of the same people at the same table. And I can't just shut up that long. I need to talk. It was painful. The silence was pain. It was just, I don't know. It was like watching paint dry, man. It was like, I needed to talk. And I think the small talk portion is like an icebreaker to me. It's kind of like, okay, let's just start talking about something. The conversation can evolve. We can actually start talking about more interesting things. But like, to me, it's almost like saying hello. Small talk is like a hello. It's like, hey, how's it going? I'm so-and-so. Let's blah, blah, blah. You kind of break the ice. You get a feel for this person. Like, okay, this person would not give a shit about video games. We won't talk about video games. They're wearing a sports shirt. They seem kind of like, okay, sports might be a topic. It's kind of, for me, a way to put feelers out there as to like, is this a person I could just fully be myself? I can curse, talk about this or that. Is this a person I need to be more reserved with? Like, I try to get a read of the person or the group to know how I should approach it.
It's telling me that whenever you meet someone new, it's like an anime protagonist. You suddenly have a narration in your head. I see he's wearing a Bearcats shirt. Maybe he'll like to talk about sports. Probably doesn't like video games. Oh, he's got a stain of ketchup on his shoe. Probably likes McDonald's. I should talk about that.
It's not a conscious thought, but like, yes, subconsciously, I am getting a feel for which way to go in conversation. But I'm not actively thinking about it. Like, there's not a moment where my brain is like, oh, I see. It's more so I'll just notice it and be like, oh, okay, so my wife went to that college. You guys both went, like, I don't know. I'll just do it, and then later on I'll realize how we got there, or someone will be like, how the hell we start talking about this? And I'll try to trace back my weird line of thinking. But it definitely happens, yes, just not consciously.
I don't know why, but that reminded me of that guy who a fan came up to me while I was traveling through North Carolina, and it was outside of a grocery store, and we were just about to get back in the car with groceries, and came out, and he's like, Markiplier, oh wow, such a fan. And I was like, oh hey, and then I looked at his shirt and it said, this is a 2-seater with an arrow pointing up his head and down his crotch. Like, he's got a shirt this is a 2-seater. Enjoys promiscuity. I should talk about that.
Any good 69s lately?
I a lot of times I meet fans, and that's when small talk is usually the most difficult, because they'll say something like, I love your videos, I've been watching you for a while, and I go like, oh, you too. Me also.
You watch my videos? Oh,
I've watched you for years. Shit. So I often don't have anything to say back. So I usually try to like just go off of what they're doing, but I'm bad at small talk anyway. So they'll just be like quiet moments where they're like, I'm such a big fan. Thank you. Do you want a picture? Oh yeah. It's just like, oh man, I'm not good at it. So
see, my brain, I'm like, oh, when did you start watching? What's the favorite series? What's the last thing you watched? Have you watched this? Have you watched Distractible?
Oh, I don't want to hear that shit.
Oh God.
Listen, I appreciate that they watch my videos or our videos or whatever, but I want to hear them talk about me. God, that's fucking nightmares right there.
I just try to be polite, keep the conversation going, man. And maybe it gets beyond that. Maybe we start about the place we're at, the food, what I'm doing there, what they're doing there. Like, it can evolve.
This is weird and a very niche thing, but it's part of our friendships because of the lives that we've led up to this point. Can I just say, Mark, I've always been very jealous of the way that you are able to engage with random fan encounters just in public, because it's different when you're like at a convention and people are trying to see you, or you're doing a signing or something. Like, I know I've gotten pretty good at that type of interaction. Mine in the real world, and it happens way less for me than it does to you, I'm sure, but it still does happen. Mine always get mean. Like you have people who are like, oh my God, you're Markiplier. And you'll be like, yeah, hey, it'll be a little awkward, but it's positive. But mine will be like, hey, are you Wade? And I'm just like, nope. And walk away. or they'll be like, oh, watch you. You're Mark's friend. Whoa, what's your name? And I'm like, I know I'm supposed to tell you, like, yeah, I'm Bob. But something in me, I'm just like, you gonna figure it out? Like I like taunt people, and I don't want to be mean. I'm so awkward that they're like, oh my God, you're that guy. You do that. And something in me is just like, okay, yeah. I'm not going to help you in this interaction. I could. I'm not gonna.
That is absolutely the thing. It's like, I'm not going to help you. There are very few times, but it does happen when like someone meets me. And it's usually not just that they're a fan. It's usually someone that's like another content creator of some type that only knows me because I have a lot of subscribers. And so they'll come up and be like, you must be Mark or so. And I can tell instantly that they're not here because they actually want to get to know me. So I'm like, I don't help them at all intentionally. And so because I'm fine with silence. I am great with gaps, and I will just stand and smile at someone and wait for them to say the next thing. After I go, yep,
But yours are always positive. Mine always feels mean. Whenever it happens, because Mandy's frequently there, whenever it happens, I feel like I always do something and I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. And Mandy be like, man, what are you in a bad mood? What? And I'm like, what did I do? I just didn't want to, I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
I must have a hungry ego because I meet people, dude, and I'm all about whatever they want to talk about. They want a picture, they want a photo, that's fine. Like Minnesota, when we were in Minnesota, I actually got recognized a few different times. I got recognized by like a hostess at one of the restaurants. You know how some people get like emotional whenever they see someone, like they see one of us and they get like emotional and start like tearing up and stuff. Like she had one of those. I was like, oh, it's fine. You know, people have it's fine. She was like apologizing and stuff. She's like, I've just been watching for so long. I've watched since Drunk Minecraft. My dad and I love your guys' stuff. I watch your streams, this and that. And I was like, that's, you know, I was just engaging in the conversation. Maybe it's my hungry ego. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, yeah, you know, whatever you need to say, like, you know, that's fine. I'm not that busy. We finished eating. I've got a few minutes. Go ahead. Like we can talk. It's fine.
Well, and it's not even like I don't want to engage. I just end up accidentally being a dick. I'm almost always happy to like do picture. If someone comes up and is like, oh, you're that guy. Oh, you're whatever. Can we get a picture? I don't even care if they don't know my name. I'm down to be polite, but I'm just not. I don't offer anything. And for some people, that apparently turns out very negatively because they really need me to help them out sometimes.
We were at the hibachi place and the waiter was like, are you? And I was like, yes. Before he even finished asking, I was like, yes, I am. Photo?
It's me.
Are you thirsty for another refill, sir?
Yes, I am. Photo?
You know, where on your body would you like me to sign?
Are you paying cash? Or yes, I am. You want a signature? Here, I'll put it right here on the line for you.
Wait, does this ever lead you into situations where you wish you hadn't? Like you get into something where you're like, oh, okay, I can't believe I'm in this convert. Or are you always just like, I don't care how unrelated to me this is. I don't care how off the rails this gets. We're having a conversation. You're having a good time.
It's never bothered me. I'm so easy to talk with. Like I can communicate with pretty much anyone. Even if it ends up being a thing where they're like, oh man, I love that thing you did with Mark like 10 years ago. And it becomes just like a talk about them loving Mark for a few minutes. It's like, Mark's my friend. They're meeting one of Mark's friends. To them, that's cool. It's a cool experience. They're enjoying it. It's fine. It's not that inconvenient for me to hear someone brag about another creator. Like they don't have to watch my stuff. It's just cool that it's a cool moment for them. So that's fine. I've never had something where I've met someone that's been like, you're Wade. Yeah. Fucking hate you. You make the worst goddamn content. Kind of wish you just fucking quit what you were doing because you're not funny. You're annoying. You're the worst member of the three. Like if someone's thought that, they never said it to me in public.
Honestly, if that happened to me, I might like that. That would be a really funny story.
I would be great with that, yeah.
I would still engage for the sake of the story if that happened.
Yes, I am. Picture?
Are you? Yes, I am. That piece of shit from Distractible. God, remember that episode where you fucking whined that one time about Judge Judy? Fucking wanted to kill you. In fact, I still might. Yes, a picture?
Please, like everyone's not on your side. Don't start that. Don't bring that back up in front of me.
Oh, sorry.
Amy calls me out for the thing I do that I think I've talked about, where in fast food drive-thrus I turn into a different human being, and she said, I don't know why.
I remember this.
For some reason I want to be incredibly as annoying as possible to the fast food worker. And not that I'm like like antagonizing, but it's just that I just morph into a very bombastic version of myself that's not Markiplier, and it's just I don't know, I can't explain it.
You're just like really chatty. You have a lot of demand. What's the deal?
Man, I don't really know what I do. I suddenly slide into like a hi, I'd like. Do you have one of those caramel things? Whenever they have a deal, I always got to call it out. It's just like Amy, it annoys Amy, so I've leaned into it. But I do it in store too. When I go up to the cash register, like I did it to this weird cookie ball place. I didn't know what it was, so I was like, "Wow, what do you recommend?" And it's just like I don't do that in any other circumstance. It's just like what I do. So
I see you have a 5 for $5. Yeah, would you like that? No, I just noticed it.
Wow, 5. That's great.
Great number.
I don't know. It's anyway.
I wish I could remember a specific instance of that. Now I want to see it. Next time we hang out, I want you to drive me through a drive-through, okay? I just want to see this.
Let's do another in-car. We'll do another car episode where we drive to a drive-through while filming. We can get it on camera.
Yeah, I will turn into another human, and I don't know why.
Hi, I'd like a cheeseburger.
You have double quarter pounder?
Is this the one? Do you guys have Big Macs? Is this where I get a Big Mac?
Or are you the Whopper group?
God, I want to see this now. What were you going to say, Wade? Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. Just the conversational aspect. I just am always open to conversation, whether it's something like even
if you're in a bad mood, is there any version of Wade who's like, don't talk to me?
I mean, if I had just found out someone in the family died or something, I'm probably not going to be out in public hanging out. But like, no, I even if I'm having like a rough whatever, if someone walks up, I try to suck it up. I remember a specific instance of this, actually. I went to see a movie with some family members. I think it was Force Awakens. Molly and I'd gone to see it. We enjoyed it. I enjoyed Force Awakens, and we went to see it with family afterward. It was the second time viewing. And some of the family I went with just talked during the movie. Like they were the people talking during the movie.
Bad. Wrong.
And we left the movie, and I was outside the theater. And I was just like ripping. I was like, what the fuck? That is the worst fucking thing you can do. What were you even talking about that was so goddamn important that you couldn't just step outside for a minute? Well, so-and-so was talking to me. Well, don't answer. Tell him to shut up. Why were you like, I was just having that conversation, and somebody walked up and they're like, tapped me on the shoulder, like, are you Wade? And I was, yes. Hi. Hello. Like I just switched gears and was like, yeah, I'm sure I looked disheveled, but it's like, I wasn't going to be mean to this person. So smiled, said hello, took photo. And then I went back and I was like, anyway, fuck you. I'm never going to a movie with you again. It was one of those things where I just kind of like had to switch gears for a moment because it was just, they approached at the worst possible time. But even then I was like, yeah, they didn't do anything. It's my fucking family over here that did it. Even like during one of those moments, sure. Because it's like, I try to put myself in the perspective of like, this might be like a once in a lifetime opportunity for them to meet someone like they watched on YouTube. You know, I don't think I'm the coolest, best content person out there, but you know, maybe they don't go to conventions. Maybe like this is their moment. They know who I am. They watch. It's a cool moment for them. Yes, they can have that moment. As long as it's not in the middle of me eating or peeing. I don't want to be interrupted when I'm at a urinal or taking a bite of food, but otherwise, and if someone does that, I'm still just like, can you let me finish? I'll get you.
So in Wade's mind, anytime someone comes up and recognizes, wow, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for this person.
Again, the ego. It's the ego.
They won the lottery today. I gotta make this good for them.
I wish I were them just so I had the opportunity to meet me. I am pretty great, and I would love to get to meet me, but I've known me my whole life.
That story brings up an interesting question. Are movies difficult for you? Are you sitting there for the entire duration of the movie just like bursting with conversation, waiting for it to end? Or is that enough of a thing?
I'm the kind of extrovert. I don't know if I'm a hybrid or what you would call me, but like I could spend an entire week alone, tablet, computer, movies, shows. I am perfectly fine entertaining myself. But like if there's conversation to be had, I am definitely being a part of it. And if there's something going on, I don't need to talk. I do not talk during movies. I don't like nudge people like, did you see that? Like I don't do anything during a movie. If someone nudges me or says something to me, I'll like respond as quickly and quietly as possible, or I'll nod, or I'll just.
Dude, that's the thing I like about movies. I'll be in a movie where they're playing like the trivia before the trailers even start. And if someone comes up and is like, hey, but I'll be like, oh, sorry, the movie. I can't. Like, this is an opportunity for me to ignore you completely. Why are you talking to me right now? This is my safe space.
Cannot stand people who talk during movies, use their phones during movies. Drives me fucking nuts. I am not a talker during movies. Even if we're watching them like in person, like when we were watching Iron Lung, I won't spoil anything that we saw, but there were a couple moments where Mark would like explain a scene, and I was like, shut up.
shut up, you.
There's a movie on, dude.
You're talking a lot, man. That's so rude.
Like, I'm trying to listen to you right now. Shut up, you.
Wow, you're right. I was so rude. I apologize.
Unbelievable, this guy.
No, but yeah, I'm not a talker during movies or shows. I will have a bad habit. The worst thing I maybe do is if I've seen something and I'm really excited to show somebody like a YouTube video or something, and like it seems like they're kind of like zoned out or like checking their phone. I'm like, no, you need to watch this. I'll do that sometimes, but not during like a theater movie typically or something like that. That's more of like I'm showing you on my phone and you're kind of like, no, pay attention. Look at this. Isn't this funny? This is the funniest thing you've ever seen. It's okay. No, you watch it again. I promise it gets funnier. Laugh. Please laugh.
Please clap.
The silence is already killing me.
I was just thinking it's nice. It's a little break.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice. Editors, don't cut this out.
Okay.
Yeah, for everyone listening, think in these silences. How are you feeling? Is it scary? Is it relaxing? Who are you? What do you feel?
Phone calls. If you have to call like one of the doctors and you're on hold for forever, and then you finally talk to somebody, and it's that conversation where like you just give your info. Like even that, the call part, the talking part doesn't bother me. It's the being put on hold, having to transfer, having to go over here, giving your information 10 times. That stuff gets annoying. But just having to like talk to somebody on the phone, like usually I still will chuckle.
Dude, I wish I could do those interactions in the form of a voicemail so I didn't have to directly contact another human being. Like if I could call the doctor and they had a recording that was like, okay, you're doing this. Please give us your name, this, and this. And then we'll go ahead and put that in. Boop. I would just be like, perfect. Here's all the information you asked for. See ya.
I like to think I'm one of their better talks they've had during the day. Like I think so highly. I'm like, I'm going to be so pleasant. Hi, how are you? Hope you had a good day. It's been kind of a rough one. Well, hopefully it gets better. I feel that. Like
if I had more self-esteem, maybe I'd think my conversations were more valuable.
Man, I don't know. I'm starting to think I think a lot more of myself than maybe I should, but no. I'm like, you know what? This person's taking 100 calls today. I'm going to be that pleasant one.
Gonna make sure they remember me for how good I was.
Or just have a moment of like, thank God that guy wasn't upset and yelling after waiting an hour and a half to find out something about his flight. So even after that one, I was like, I will be nice.
When you finish a phone call, do you ask them to fill out a survey of how the call went?
I should. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye.
What are the other extrovert things that bother you, Mark? Small talk, I feel like, is kind of what we've been nebulously around, though. But can I say I have worked in restaurants and food service type stuff is one of the main sort of job types that I've had in different capacities. I don't mind interacting with people in the execution of my job. I was like a busser. I was a delivery driver. I was never actually a waiter, but I had that sort of interaction with people in restaurants. I never minded having to like talk to people for the purpose of work and being perfectly cordial, even in the face of someone being kind of a dick about something. But the moment I'm talking, like if you're ordering something from me and I'm like, okay, and you want pepperoni and mushrooms, okay, and whatever. And then they're like, hey, did you see that Bengals game? And I'm just like, sir, we're discussing pizza. Would you like to continue ordering your bill? Like, I cannot be fucking bothered with off-topic conversation right now. That sets me off, and I have no idea why. I'm not rude about it, but I have so many memories of where it's like I'm working at Jimmy John's and someone's like, yeah, I want a number 1 and number 2. Oh, that sign is so funny. Where do you guys get those signs? I'm like, I don't know. It was here when I got hired. What else would you like on your sandwich?
This is exactly what Wade was saying that he does.
Yeah, you make it so much worse for me when you do that.
Oh no.
I was just thinking the same thing, but not completely related to that. Is like, I don't like hanging out and doing nothing. It might be more of an ADHD thing, but because I don't mind hanging out, but it needs to be purposeful. It needs to be, we are doing this activity. We are together for this work thing. This is a project we're building. If it's even if it's for like board games, it's sometimes very tough for me. But if it's a party or like a gathering where you're standing around just talking, I'm like, I'm in hell.
Oh man, I have the best time. What about like sitting around a campfire where you're like cooking marshmallows and just chatting?
I mean, I
feel like that's different though. That's an extension of the thing that you're doing. You're all on a camping trip or something. So the campfire is like, right now we're doing campfire s'mores time. because earlier we cooked food, and before that we were like on the lake on the boat or whatever. Like you're doing that. I get that.
Well, not necessarily. You could also just have like a fire. Like some people have big yards where you can just like have a bonfire. We had friends.
Yeah, that's
I don't actively dislike hanging out and doing nothing, but it makes me feel a little guilty. Like I feel like I'm checked out as a friend, because a lot of the times when I've been in a situation where we're basically hanging out doing nothing, it's fun. And if it's with people I really like, we'll just have conversations about like really in-depth conversations about whatever thing or movie or, like, and that's cool. That's fun. I don't mind that. But I always leave that feeling like, oh, should we have played a board game or something? Was I preventing the group from doing something? For similar reasons, I think. I'm with you, Mark, because if we're not doing anything at all, it's cool, but shouldn't we be doing something?
It's harder, even though most of my time alone is just not doing anything important. But by the time everyone's like, we're getting together, I go like, there goes my day. Shit, I'm not getting anything done now. Now I'm not. So yeah, I get the same thing.
See, I'm the center of attention in those moments. The campfire, I'm the person everyone is looking at. All eyes are on me.
You're in the fire? What do you mean?
Center of the fire. I mean, maybe. When I was younger, I was the guy who, like, because of being able to dunk a basketball and jump around, I was the guy who would, like, run and jump over, like, the high fire and be like, dude, look how cool I am. Anything to get attention on me. But I'm the person engaged in, like, every conversation happening eventually becomes the group conversation. I'm probably the one talking the most. And then I will find the people not talking and I will try to, like, engage with them to get them involved.
Oh, don't do that. Leave me alone.
Nope. Listen, I want you to feel like you're a part of things. I'm going to bring you in. You're going to enjoy this.
We found a new thing that sets me off. That does happen. If I'm at a gathering and I'm disengaged from whatever conversation is happening, it's because I don't have anything to say about it.
No, it's because you're so introverted that you're afraid to overstep, and I'm gonna let you in.
I fucking hate when people are like, oh yeah, man, I got this new set of golf clubs and I was out at the Elks course and on 9 when hey Bob, what's your favorite golf club for like a par 4? Like, I could be not here right now and I would be having a much better time. I don't know. Don't do that. Don't be like that.
I think I'm a hit. I am a hit.
Keep talking, Wade. We'll keep finding stuff that annoys me about extroverts.
I probably have a lot of it. See, Molly says she loves being married to an extrovert because she knows I want the attention so much that she doesn't have to participate. I'll occasionally turn to her and like try to get her involved, but like for the most part, she's like, you do so much of the talking that there's not really much room for me to have to worry about having to talk.
Yeah, but see, you respect that she wants to remain disengaged.
I'm pretty good at getting a read. When someone very obviously doesn't want to talk, like I'll eventually back off. As long as there's other people that are willing, there has to be someone.
No, I do like a get together where there's an extroverted person who commands the majority of the attention, and I can just like dip in and out if I have something I want to say or I feel like I'm going to add to the conversation. I appreciate that. Just don't target me with it. Talk to other people.
I gotta learn. See, I gotta get my feelers. I gotta learn each person a bit to know when.
No, don't feel me.
If there's another couple of other extroverts they're usually not as loud as me. I still dominate because I'm just loud and I'm fucking annoying. But like we can engage and people will chip in. That's fine. But if I'm the only one, yeah, I'm forcing conversation because I need.
Isn't that what you want though? It sounds like that's the main thing you would want, is that no one else is even talking. It's just you, because then everyone's looking at you.
No. I need to have a back and forth. I can't just monologue. I'm not a villain.
What if you dialogue with yourself?
I do that alone, but if I'm with people, I need them to be engaged and like me. They need to understand how great I am.
Got it.
So it's ego. So extroverts are purely ego driven.
I think it might be. It might just be.
Now, this is strange, though, because I've got a great ego. Big ego about myself. I am great.
Yeah, very healthily large.
But I'm so great, I don't need to tell anybody about it. They'll know by my stoicism. It's very Sigma of me to have all this ego and energy and confidence.
I can't contain my ego. There's so much, so it spills out.
That's very alpha of you. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, embarrassing. Wow.
I do think I play it very cool and quiet and stoic, and I do think I have a lot more ego than I would let on. If that is that the less I say, the less you'll know exactly how stupid I actually am. And that has helped me a lot in like school settings. That helped me a lot. In law school, a lot of my law school classmates thought and told me explicitly that I was one of the smarter people in our class. And I was good in law school and I got good grades. And in some classes specifically, I did excel. I got a book award in contracts, which means I got one of the top grades in the whole school in that thing. It was a very good accomplishment in law school. But I was definitely not one of the like greatest minds of our class. But I spoke so infrequently. And when I did say something, it was almost always like correct and valuable because I spoke because I had some piece of knowledge that I was applied to the thing we were talking about in class. Really plays to your advantage there. Keep it inside. Keep the stupid in. Only let the smart out. People think only smart in there. Very effective.
In school, I agree. In practice, if you play I love playing the fool. I'm so much smarter than people I think I am because I just am always so fucking stupid in my portrayal of me. But like, it's fun. It's fun to be the idiot, and also it's disarming, and people are more willing to engage because I don't know if they feel superior when they see how stupid I am, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we could talk. there, fella. Because if you talk to someone who just comes off as like an intelligent prick, it's like, okay, you're not fun. But me, like, could I engage with like professional intellectuals? Sure. But God, it's much more fun being like stupid and silly and laughing and telling fart jokes. I just enjoy that a lot more. Being like the goody in school, I definitely was that. I probably came off as the teacher's pet a lot in school. I was very much like the nerdy, goody smart guy. I've just always enjoyed being the idiot. It's just so much more fun. And I think that people engage with you more when you come off as disarmingly just like Wade.
It's the most annoying thing about you. I know you're smarter, and then you just dumb all over the place for no reason. Who are you trying to entertain? Not me. I'm not entertained.
I have said this before, and I will say this again. Nobody finds me more entertaining or hilarious than I do. God, I love me. I entertain, dude. I will sit down here and just laugh at nothing. Like Molly has come down before and heard me just laughing. He's like, "Oh, what are you watching?" I was like, "Nothing. I just thought of something." And God, I'm funny.
Man, I wish I laughed at my own jokes. I don't even know if the stuff I'm saying is funny until you guys laugh or don't laugh at it when I say it out loud.
There are times I can't even tell a joke because I'm laughing at my own joke before I tell it. And people are like, "Well, it's not funny now. You laughed before you told the punchline." I was like, I found it hilarious. I could live in a world of just me, but if there's other people around, man, I got to engage. We got to converse.
You know, like that Family Guy episode where he gets the Midas touch, but everything he touches turns into Robin Williams.
I haven't seen that one.
It's just a whole world of Robin Williamses all talking to each other. Oh, I'm a bus. It's a good bit.
Even this episode, which is about you two, I feel like I talked the most.
Was it about us?
It was supposed to be. Remember the Dumb of Humanity? That whole thing?
We can go back to that if you want.
No, that'll do. Unless do you guys have any other things you want to add about being introverted that we didn't talk about or that you've thought of?
Mark, I have a question for you about introvertedness.
Yes.
I don't think there's going to be that groundbreaking, but do you have a circle of individuals where it's hanging out with them is effectively the same as being alone? And so like it really doesn't tax you in the same way that hanging out with general like friends and acquaintances and stuff does in terms of being introverted? Because I definitely have that with there's a small group of people, and it has changed over the course of my life for me, but there's like a small group where it's like, if we're hanging out, it's the same as me being completely alone, recharging. Like it's totally chill, and it doesn't bother me at all if we hang out 24 hours a day.
I would say no. And that's probably something that I'm missing in my life. I think about that sometimes where it's like most of my associations, especially being out here in LA, are in some way work-based and I say work very loosely. It's like YouTube-based, most of the people that I've met through YouTube. And then I'm trying to be better about it now, but after COVID, whatever, I'm trying to get better about casually hanging out because I do recognize that being an introvert can be an addictive scenario to find yourself in. And it's also very bad for you because you do need socialization to get a better sense of who you are and how it's balanced. The internet helps with doing videos, but most of the stuff that I do is by myself. I wish I had that circle where I could just hang out and not.
I'm right here.
I wish I had someone, anybody who could make the silence feel so sweet.
You will love me by the time you die.
But I do love you. I do. I love you.
I'll keep trying, man. I'll be your circle.
Not 24/7, man. Because you wouldn't be silent. That you admitted it yourself. You wouldn't be silent.
I'll envelop you.
It doesn't even have to be silent. It's just like I don't think that's the same. But yeah, I hope to have that someday.
I think we all learned being extroverted is great. Being introverted is also great. But being me is the best thing you can be. That's the lesson we learned, I think, right?
He doesn't mean being yourself. He means being Wade specifically.
Literally me, yeah.
Yeah, him, me, not you, me. Sorry.
Let me go through the points of crossed out Dumb of Humanity, introverts versus extroverts. Mark, you got points for... couldn't tell you. Stolen small talk. So I think whenever you start talking about your intel talk, you're like, this isn't my small talk. So I just gave you points for stolen small talk.
Oh, I see.
You got points for intel. Fast food, great handshake. Silence, good. Sigma stoicism, fast food, silence, and do something. Bob, you got points for football, dumb, Bearcats, EA Sports, then the college football. Dick to fans, who cares about the weather? Secret ego, and we are talking about pizza. Bob, you have 11 points. Mark, you have 12 points. Mark, you win by 1.
Oh.
Yes, I did it. It's all me, baby.
I felt like I had a pretty good episode.
You did. Unfortunately, you had to go get your root beer at one point, and Mark and I just had a really great handshake while you went to get your root beer.
Ha.
And he just got some bonus points for that handshake.
I thought we weren't doing those anymore.
It might not have been necessarily a handshake deal. It was just a great handshake.
Oh. It was a deal involving a handshake.
Yeah, but not a handshake deal.
Okay, well.
Because I couldn't just get, so that he asked for, to be transparent, he asked for the win as part of a handshake deal. But like, we can't really do handshake deals. So the best I could do was give him points for a great handshake. So I did.
Okay.
And then the rest of the points, I mean, I told you what they were.
Okay.
Extremely fair. The most fair, actually.
It feels fair.
Good. Mark, do you want to do a winner speech?
Yes, I do.
Go for it.
I'm thinking.
Oh, good. Don't be silent. It'll kill me.
Don't interrupt him. He's making his speech.
I love winning. Think I deserve this. Yeah, I do. Thank you, Wade.
Hey, good for you. It's good for me. Bob.
Today's loser's speech is brought to you by Mug Root Beer. You know the feeling. It's 3 p.m. on a Thursday, too late for a coffee, too early for a beer, so you walk around aimlessly in search of a mysterious third beverage? That's when you need Mug Root Beer. Drink Mug Root Beer and let them know you got that dog in you. In honor of my loss, I would like to have a full 60 seconds of silence to mourn my great performance that went unappreciated.
How about 90? You got 90, Bob. 90 good?
Okay, the timer starts over because you interrupted my moment of silence.
60 seconds.
I didn't start a timer, let's be honest. Today's loser speech was brought to you by Mug Root Beer. It's the perfect third beverage for any occasion. Caffeine-free, carbonated, and delicious. So drink Mug Root Beer if you got that dog in you.
Were you truly just waiting for me to speak? Was it going to be silent until I broke it? Like, was that
100%?
It was kind of nice, actually.
That was the calmest the three of us have ever been on a call or in the same room together, I think, in our entire lives. That was so serene.
That was so long.
I love that.
It was
That was
great.
nice. I want to do it again. We should start every episode with a moment of silence.
Mark hosts the next one, so he can if he wants to, but not today. Today, I am wrapping this shit up immediately. Mark's our winner. He'll be hosting the next one. Congrats to you. Follow Bob at MyScore, Mark at Markiplier. We have merch at distractiblestore.com. And stay tuned for the next one. Until then, podcast out.